And so I am excited to be part of this group, and I really think we can all come together. And I say we bring it, and we bring it hard, and we bring it all the way. We bring it in federal court because of the Fifth Amendment violations that are in SB 109. I say we bring it in state court for the many violations throughout both bills, and I say we bring it in local court. Judge Christopher Cross in December said you cannot ban a dispensary, as a dispensary is fits the intended purpose of Amendment 20, and that it allows for an economically viable chain of supply that allows patients to get the medicine they are constitutionally permitted to have. So let's bring it. Mr. Small, I keep referring to you, but there were so many points you made that I thought were so good, and you talked about anger, and I'm angry, and I think we should all be angry, because we got hoodwinked. But that being said, the time is now to come together and let that anger pour over into something really positive, and I think we can do that. I sat with Senator Romer and had burritos in the Capitol basement. Wasn't allowed to buy him one, of course, because I'm a registered lobbyist. Boo his. Had a debate with him on TV, sat in a room and listened to him talk to 200 attorneys at a CLE. Each time he said the same thing. Oh, there's not going to be a local ban provision. You'll sue us. 5-patient limit. There's not going to be a 5-patient limit. You'll sue us. Oh, we're going to get rid of those Fifth Amendment problems where doctors and patients are forced to turn on each other Soviet style. We're not going to do that because you'll sue us. Well, Senator Romer, you were right. You're about to get sued. But let's get back to the anger, because part of the reason, clearly we're not angry, part of the reason we ended up with such horrible legislation is because we got angry in the wrong way. It's one thing to go and smoke pot on 420. I was proudly a keynote speaker at 420 a couple of years ago in Boulder. But it's another thing to go and have marches every weekend and go and smoke pot in front of little kids, including my children. And to turn what is close to 70% of public support for access to medical marijuana and almost as high support for dispensaries, and turn that around because we allow radicals to define who we are as an industry and who we are as a people and who we are as Americans. And I've had conversations with some of those radicals. I'm not very shy, and I tend to say things. I tend to act now and ask for forgiveness later. I hope Senator Romer will forgive me. But that being said, I think we can partner with those radicals, and those radicals have played a very important role in so many cases. And they have been grassroots organizers, and they can be key voices on the types of litigation we bring. But let's make this positive. Almost every person up here I heard talked about the importance of making this patient-centered. And while I've only been a lawyer for less than a year, I have worked in the U.S. Congress, I have written legislation, I have drafted constitutional amendments, and in the past and currently I have been a plaintiff, a named plaintiff in civil rights litigation. To me, I don't care if I ever smoke pot again. I really don't. I admit it, one of 93 million Americans. But to me, this is about the Constitution, and this is what we need to be talking about in this litigation. We need to think critically as a society. Imagine if SB 109, and my husband brought this up, so hopefully I don't get egged, because it didn't go over so well the first time in the State House, but imagine instead of saying doctors who make recommendations for medical marijuana, it said instead, doctors who provide abortions. How would our society react then? Imagine instead of talking about dispensaries as First Amendment protected businesses, instead we suddenly said, nope, churches, or nope, political parties, or nope, video stores, or think tanks, or universities, or any of the other vibrant and sometimes awkward different voices that come together to create this great country we call America. We wouldn't stand for it, and I would encourage you all to talk with people in terms of the constitutionality first, and then second, the practical side of public policy, which is that we spend billions of dollars every year on a failed drug war. And we can't scream it to people. We need to talk about it over dinner with our neighbors. We need to talk to our family members. And I can tell you, when I first got involved in this issue, my own father said, well, I worked with Newt Gingrich and Ronald Reagan to help craft the modern-day drug war, and he was very proud. And now he has seen the light. We have amongst us as supporters former DEA agents, former Border Patrol agents, former police officers. Of course, I'm sure most of you are familiar with law enforcement against prohibition. These are the people we need part of this movement. I want to talk about a couple of the key issues. There was, I think it was Tay who was talking about, whether there's issues county to county. And there's nothing per se in the legislation's language that stands out to say that you have to have everything in one county. But for those of you that are considering county to county pursuits, meaning that under your medical marijuana center, your grow operation or your optional premises cultivation license is in, say, Pueblo County, where you can have a grow operation, but you can't have a dispensary, so therefore you have to go to another county, right? What happens then if you go to El Paso County, or let's say Colorado Springs, and you're not one of those people who's going to be grandfathered in, or at least maybe grandfathering isn't the right term, but you're not going to make the deadline there, which could be as early as this week. So what do? One part of your business is accepted in one county, but the dispensary isn't in the other. And what does that mean for purposes of local licensing? Will Pueblo County license you if you only have a grow operation there and not the full-on integrated 70-30 model? The answer, we don't know. We don't know because these applications haven't been written yet. And we don't know because we know that many of these city and county attorneys, many of them great people, but they wait to get the talking points. And so when I look at this issue in terms of the local licensing, do everything possible to get as many balls up in the air to make it work for you. Create those relationships, create those partnerships. As always, I plug the Colorado Wellness Association. We'll have networking events. And as part of the litigation that we're pursuing, meaning Lauren and I, we're also working with Tay and Sean and welcome anybody on this panel. Sinceville, Colorado, we now have the the chairman of the ACLU board. He's now helping us draft contract language regarding that relates to the residency issue as well as independent contractors. So there's a whole bunch of things we can do. But part of what's so very concerning about this legislation is that there's so much power to these local attorneys who are getting their talking points, make no mistake, from John Suthers, a great man on property rights, love him on that, bad on property rights here. So I guess with that I need to close out, but my final talking point, I guess, would be this. For those people who doubt this industry, or doubt our patients, or doubt the cause, this is what we say to them. Go ahead and call us liars, cheats, stoners, evil capitalists, socialists, communists, call us whatever you want. But know that you're calling not just us, but an estimated 130,000 medical marijuana patients by such pejorative terms. And not only that, but you're calling their husbands or their wives or their mothers. You're calling people like my 70-year-old babysitter who's home tonight with my daughters. You're calling her a liar because when her daughter suffered a horrific workplace accident and subsequently was diagnosed with RSD, she did what any mother would do. She sought out every conventional and alternative medical option out there. And her daughter is one of the first 20 people on Colorado's medical marijuana registry. So the people are with us. I look forward to being involved in this litigation, and let's get those patients out there front and center. Thank you, Jessica.